he'll make it for sure. That's why I backed him on Tap Touch.
You got the touch, you got the power. Got the touch? Choose Tap Touch. Better your bet. Download the app today.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.
G'day Eagles fans and welcome to Coast to Coast. What a week. Oh my goodness. Wins. They feel so good. We got the touch. All of a sudden it has come to us. It's broken a 16-game losing streak. Pretty horrific stuff, let's be honest. But it's over. It's just done. And after Sunday, we're back on the winners list. So despite the tense finish, we'll get to all that. We'll get to that. But we've got some talent really in the room that I should address. Oscar Allen, a regular stalwart, and a first-timer, Elijah Hewett. I've waited. I've kept you in the wings for too long, and you've been bursting at the seams, and you're finally here. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm incredibly thankful that you brought me on finally. It's been a few weeks, but yeah, I'm on finally.
What's going on, Thumb? It was good to win. Like, how good? One of the 16-game losing streaks was going to come to an end, and I'm bloody glad it was ours. Happy with how it went. Glad a lot of younger players could be part of it. Like, you were the sub for the GWS game.
Yes.
But being an integral part of the weekend, playing bloody well. Stiff not to get Rising Star. I'm sure we'll touch on that. But I'm glad that you could be a part of it. Ryan Marich, Jack Willow, like, it was a good day.
Yeah, I thought, I forgot about the sub time because I was ready to see you get absolutely drenched. What were your thoughts? Did you go hard at the young fellas knowing that you'd copped previous Gatorade stinkers? Or
I hate the Gatorade stinkers personally, being in the midst of it, and then you just have to go have a shower straight away because last time was my debut and I got drenched. Wanted to go say hi to my family. I was feeling gross like orange Gatorade. So I made the most of my opportunity, and yeah, Ryan was in the midst of it.
Well, Willow did an interview with us after, so he was sticky for a very long time. So he copped it really good. How was being skipper again, mate? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good. I actually do enjoy the challenge of doing it. The hardest part is definitely the pre-game speech, but we were pretty aligned with what we wanted to do, so there wasn't really any mucking around. I think if you're to be the captain for a long period of time, like I think of guys, I know he's not anymore, but Scott Pendlebury, who was captain for 10 years, like in the middle of July, pissing down rain, what are you going to talk about your pre-game speech? Like, you've got that many you're going to have to get up to. But I enjoyed it. I'm not sure how to go. I only spoke at halftime, actually. I gave Duggo the pre-game one. But I enjoy it. It's a good challenge.
Hang on. Whoa. Isn't that part of your responsibility? You're delegating this all of a sudden. What's going on?
A part of my leadership development, I'm working on delegation. So
how much notice you give him to do it?
So when Duggo and I actually papers rocked for the captaincy, and I won. I said, I'm happy to do it, yeah. And he goes, okay, can I speak to the boys? I've got something I want to get off my chest. I was like, perfect. Right. More the merrier. But like Boots did it a bit this year. Like Gov was doing our pre-game speeches at the start of the year too. So it's not something that's foreign or new to us. And I think sharing the love is good. Hear from a different voice and keep it exciting.
How did this win feel different, Huey, going from a sub? We've almost had one of the greatest first disposals in AFL history.
But it wasn't.
Almost. I said almost. To a game where you've contributed heavily, got robbed of a NAB Rising Star and did very well. What was the difference in win? Was it exactly the same? Different, your team winning and then coming on for a quarter spurt and then winning a game that was put to bed by then? Or one that you had to grind out and you played the full game?
Very different feelings. First one was more just an overwhelming feeling because I only came on the last quarter and not that we'd sealed the game, but we were pretty close to. So it was all kind of upwards from there.
Party time, as Oz calls it.
Party time in the fourth quarter.
Champagne.
Nothing better.
Yeah, we didn't quite get to have it though.
Yeah, we didn't. We had
it for 30 seconds and then they started coming back at us pretty quickly.
Yeah. But the weekend was absolutely sick to be part of a great win. And even the fact they came back that last bit, I was getting pretty scared for a bit, but to win the game.
Did you play the majority of game time in the fourth?
I did play majority of game time, yes. Came off for a few stints, but yeah, when I was on from 5-10 minute blocks.
Before I get to his game, I wanted to ask, because I think I checked it, you just played 56% game time in the first quarter. What's that like from a youngster, game on, it's all happening, and then having to spend such long stints on the sideline waiting for your opportunity to get on?
Yeah, it is tough. You do get pretty itchy on the bench, but it's obviously a load management requirement. And coming off my ankle injury midway through the year, I'm only 6 to 7 games in, I think, now since that. So the load's, pretty important to get right.
The young fella was on Oz. He's had it 21 times. He's kicked a snag. There's still a few rounds to go, but he's missed the NAB Rising Star nom. Do you get anything now for it? You get a little package? You get a little number?
Yeah, I don't know if you get it for a nom. I don't reckon I got anything for my nom way back when.
Okay.
I think you only get it if you win, but I think there's more. In all honesty, there's more to life than it.
Oh, really?
And I think genuinely playing an important role in a win should give you more gratitude than getting it, but I'm sure he'll get it in the next couple of weeks, and if you don't, you'll probably get it next year because he's a bloody good player.
Let me put this to you. Would he have got it if he kicked 2 and the most miraculous left foot banana you've ever seen attempted at Optus? Do you think he would have got it?
He would have. I thought I had you in the book for the drop punt in the fourth quarter. Like, I was like, that's a goal. And that's come from someone who missed one from 20 out straight in front of the third. And then I also could have sealed the game. So I missed a couple too. But I thought that was in the book. And I looked at scoreboard. Big fella had like 20 touches and 1 goal already. I was like, this bloke's going to have 30 and 3 here. Like, he's going bananas. And
disappointing. Could have slotted that last one, but, we move.
The look on your face was of immense concentration when you were going to take that set shot in the fourth. I wanted to ask you whether you still feel any nerves when you're lining up for goal, whether you did in your first year, in your first couple of attempts, whether they've completely dissipated or it kind of depends on the state of the game. So I'll go with you first before I ask how Huey feels about lining up set shots. He's had a couple of attempts.
Yeah, you do still definitely feel nervous. I don't as much. I think early in my career, I felt nervous because I might only have 1 or 2 opportunities a week and like I want to make the most of it. Whereas now I'm more nervous of like time of game, and now like I'll make a statement like it's important you do this for the side right now. So I remember playing against Collingwood and we were down like 30-0. And I kicked 2 in a row, and I was like, line up the second, I was like, you need to kick this, like get us back into the game here. So that's the other thing, but I'm pretty good with my routine and process. Like that's all I think about. I want to get the ball. I walk back to the top of my mark. I tell myself the same things every single time. Coming in, that's all I'm thinking about. And whenever I actually miss, a lot of the time it's because my mind drifts away and I start thinking of it's windy, or maybe I go to the right-hand side and try and draw it back or whatever it is. But I think just the more you play, you kind of get used to it. Do you get nervous still? I'm sure you would.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of. Your first point was I only get X amount of screenshots a game.
Yeah.
So I feel the pressure to slot them, and I try to get as many as I can screenshots. But as a mid, that's not your responsibility. But when you get the chance, you take it on board 100%. But I come into the game with a midfield mindset. So I'm not really worrying about the set shots, but I do have a routine. So I'm actually surprised I missed. I was really confident going back, especially that was my first goal, that set shot routine went back. Cripper, I've got Cripper when I've got a set shot to yell at me hard foot. So I can kick through the ball, and I actually didn't hear it on the weekend. So if there's anyone going to blame, I'm going to blame Cripper. Yep.
I love that. I was surprised I missed because I've got such a good routine. I love that.
So, Huey, what do you think of the big fella's clunks on the weekend?
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I had a front row seats to that one as well, the one he got up. What quarter was that?
I want to say the second quarter is when you had the bigger dangle and you got a little bit of lift time.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah.
Is that the best clunk you've taken in an Eagles jumper or what?
I reckon it probably was like the highest. Yeah, it was hardest one to take. Like I thought, looking back on it, like I just can't believe that stuck. I took a bigger one against Collingwood on a Friday night. Like I think there was like 55,000 in 2021, and that just felt cooler because like the crowd was like roaring, and it was like genuinely held onto it the whole way and landed with it. And I just remember that was like early in my career was the first time I played and finished a game, and probably thought like, yeah, I was the best player on the field tonight. And like you have that extra confidence that, yeah, I can be the best player on the ground on any given day.
You landed very nervously from a fan's perspective.
Yeah, my back is a little bit sore, but nothing to worry for the weekend.
Made the little Instagram video. Did you see that one?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so
Thanks,
I snuck
mate.
a little bit of Tory Amos in there. Big Tory fan. I just banged that track in there.
Yeah.
It's bouncing off of clouds. Get it, Huey?
I'm going to smile, but I don't know what you're talking about.
So, no, I chose the song because he was bouncing off clouds with how high he jumped. Get the symbolism involved.
There you
there.
go.
Yeah,
Fun part.
it's all happening.
You see all the intricacies in the media department coming out here.
But you did go for a mark at one stage and you ran into Big Baz. And
I stopped. I pulled out of it.
yeah, if you're 2 cars, it was a fender bender and he had no damage on the back of him. You just went straight into his bull bar and you just hit the deck and you got crumpled.
Yeah, I pulled out of it and tried to avoid him in the air because that landed on my face. So that's the last time I let Big Baz stand in the way and try and pull out of it.
Huey, who had the worst miss this year? Was it Paul Curtis in the goal square or Oz against North Melbourne
In the goal square,
back in round 1 in the goal square?
Oh, I'm trying to remember the one in round 1, but the one on the weekend was pretty bad. Paul Curtis.
Oz's was up there.
Was it?
Yeah. Whose was worse, Oz?
I haven't actually seen his back, but mine gives me nightmares.
Oh,
I reckon I got the ball further away
okay.
from the goal, but I had more time, and Jack was yelling out, "You're hot," and I kind of shit myself.
Yeah, we blame Jack.
And you know what else happened? The night before, we were all watching Ollie Henry. He was playing against Collingwood, and then I was just like, I'm never letting that happen to me. And then a day later, I'll do something way worse.
So Yowie went back, tactical sub. Haven't seen that in a second quarter in some time. Poor Rhett Baslow got the tap on the shoulder. If you get an injury from that point onwards to the fourth, you're in some trouble. But it worked, paid dividends. And Yowie went back. He was pretty good.
Yowie was great. It's good to have him back, eh? You and Yowie have a good relationship because you're both similar, very powerful players.
Are you going on with the personality?
No, I'm saying just players-wise, you're very powerful. Yowie plays back mid. You probably play more mid-forward, I'd say, than back. And he's probably been a bit of a mentor for you at the club.
He has.
You'd say, right next to each other, lockers-wise.
Yeah.
How's it like playing with him on the weekend? Probably one of the
great.
first time.
He's probably my favourite player to play with alongside Boots as well. But yeah, the impact that guy brings, and also he's got a bit of dog in him. We all see it.
Got it, dog in him.
And you can just know that fourth quarter, I actually voted him trademark player of the round. If you've seen that one tick, Yowie, it was me because he's clutch with it on the weekend, got the ball. And this isn't to blow steam up him, but he was good that last patch of the play, get the ball to Aussie.
Not talking about the Nori to Oscar to ice the game.
Incredible.
I was that nervous underneath that. I was trying to get under it and then just started to turn its head on me, and I actually caught it between my legs. Missed it with my arms.
This isn't on the rundown, but Simo's talked about not having enough players out there to almost go through. He hasn't said this, but I assume with not enough players on the track, you can't do as many situational type trainings out on the ground with your match sims and whatnot. How much of the last minute and a half was tactical and knowing how you had to waste time, spread the ball, or was it simply just work harder than your man, find space and ship it to someone open?
It's a good question. I think although we are a youthful side, a lot of our backline are senior players. So our backline the last quarter, Tom Cole, Liam Duggan, Elliot Yeo, Shannon Hearn, Jaden Hunt, all senior players.
Were they all ones that touched the footy?
Yes, they're all the guys that kind of held on to the footy. So although we have a lot of young guys, they were the ones, and the backs are the gatekeepers for when we have the ball. Pretty much, they're the ones often with it in their hand late in the game. And it would have been nice to win the ball and have it in our front half, so we weren't having to defend out of our back pocket. But you always feel pretty comfortable with those guys, and it's not really something you train from years of playing footy. It's just game sense, and we're pretty good at doing that as a side historically over the time. I know a couple of games recently we haven't finished off that well, but that's something we've always been able to do pretty effectively.
Who was your best three on the weekend, or maybe just your best player, Huey? So you got Cripper playing an ultimate small forward role. You got Big Baz just dominating in the air, tough matchup. You got who else?
Bunga's best on ground.
Bunga.
We'll go to
Bunga be out there. Yeah. Personally, I think Cripper receives the recognition within the playing group, so I think that's fair enough. Outside the club, he probably doesn't receive not enough accreditation for that. But I think, Baz was really good. He was getting his first hand in it quite a bit. And then around the ground, some of the clunks he was taking in that, which quarter was it? Third quarter. I was impressed.
What about you, Oz? Were you throwing... who else you got? You got Tim Kelly, who was up there as well. You're just going to give it to Bung with the tall job?
Yeah, mate. He's obviously announced his retirement throughout the week, but as a 35-year-old man playing on the guy's third in the Coleman, who's got 10 centimetres on him and comprehensively beat him for the day. So Bung was my best. Thought Cripper's second best. And I think the best game he's played for probably... Since he played a ripper against Gold Coast last year, I think JD was sensational. And I think that he embodied in the first quarter, not a traditional key forwards game. He wasn't hitting the scoreboard early, but he was taking marks in defence, marks on the wing, game-saving tackles, selling candy in the middle of the ground. I thought the way he went about, they were probably the three that stood out for me during the game.
Did he sell candy and then demand you make a lead?
Well, I think... he sold candy and then he saw my lead and wasn't too happy with it. So he said, "No, give me another one." And I'm just pointing to the corner and he put in a nice spot for me.
It's very good, Mark. It's also big news during the week, boys. If you lived under a rock, Shannon Hearn is called time at the end of the year. An absolute icon of this footy club and the game's record holder, 2-time All-Australian, premiership captain. There's plenty more accolades. How many Glendenning medals has he won?
You go, because
One.
I know the answer. No, he's won 3.
He's won
Has he?
3 of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Question about him, mate.
Yeah.
Are we going to get him on the podcast before the year's
No,
done? Okay.
no,
Don't worry, fans.
no.
Don't write in your questions for
no,
him.
we'll get him in something else, but he will not be coming on this one. But not bad from the boy from South Australia, or the man boy from South Australia. What was it like watching him play out the day, give the speech to you boys? Did you know it was coming on the day, Huey?
Oh, I had no clue, but I did see him putting on a polo, walking into our meeting room. So I suspected it, and then saw the cameras. You know what's about to happen. I thought it was incredible. The way he speaks captivates the room's great, but then the personalisation of telling us before the media conference was, I almost shed a tear, and I was right in front of him. I think he was about to shed a tear as well. There was a few ones coming out, and to see that from Bung, you know how much it means to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know it was coming. Like, I kind of was just... And then I went upstairs and went to get a coffee, and I saw Pritter. I went, Pritter, how are you, mate? And then as I was sitting there waiting, as I ordered my coffee, I was like, why is Pritter here? Like, is he speaking to... And then, like, all of a sudden, everything, like, started to make sense and click in my brain, but... Yeah, a legend of the footy club. I don't think you can say enough. It was great. I think his sister was over, so she came to the press conference, and it was a great celebration. And hopefully the last 2 games of the year will be a great celebration of what he's meant. He's been a pretty iconic player as a kid growing up, Eagles supporter, like loved him, and then being able to see up front, close and personal, what he does day to day to make him such an elite player and man. He's a very impressive person.
Did that personality come across to you as a fan to the player?
A little bit. He's kind of what you expect him to be. Like, he's real no-nonsense, matter-of-fact, pragmatic, and just gets on with it. And that's like, if you watch his press conference or when he spoke to the boys, that's exactly how he went about it. Like, he was never about me. So he's doing his retirement speech, and he spent 2 minutes talking about how well Pritter prepared for games and how great Pritter is. So it's just him all over.
He's talked about not getting any words from Lecker or Cripper in his first year. You're a first-year player. What was the Bunga relationship like for someone at the top of experience to someone down to where you were?
Incredible. He actually was, one of the closest people I became close to at the start of the year. He shed a lot of knowledge and wisdom to me, and he actually introduced me to Jodie Maguire, the sports psychologist who I currently see now. I've got a great relationship with her through Bunga. So I think the one-on-one mentoring relationship that Bunga creates is second to none. And throughout this last year, you've seen why he's the man and the captain he is, and why he is so respected.
All right, we're looking forward to more Bunga fanfare as the year goes on. This is now, and congratulations to Will and Sandy for just bringing up such a legend of a boy, and to Ash, who was apparently kicking with him in the backyard for all those years. And if you see Bunga kick, that's where a lot of the thanks have to go. This is now Huey time, so normally we don't have the guests come in and review the game.
But you were such an important guest. We thought you'd be here for the whole time.
We thought you'd add a bit there.
So
I had a bit.
You're probably thinking, well, can we talk about me a little bit now?
No, I don't really care. I'd love to talk
time.
about the game. Whatever, mate.
Now's your time now.
I want to ask you a question, mate.
Hit me.
And this is the deep diving stuff, and I want you to be honest.
How deep we going?
So last year, right, draft year, it's a stressful year. I've
Yes.
been there recently. How was having COVID and the flu during your draft year? You got COVID a day before the game, before playing for Australia. I've never done that, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You didn't realise you had it. You needed an inhaler to breathe, and you fell asleep on the bus on the way to the game. Then afterwards, you contracted the flu, and you were sick for around 6 weeks.
Yeah.
How's the research from the team?
I'm incredible. I don't know how you guys
Talk
figured
to
this
me
out.
about this, mate. What happened?
But firstly, let's just acknowledge whoever figured this out is incredible.
Yeah,
to the detail.
Thank you. Yeah.
Incredible. Seriously incredible.
Good on yours.
Yeah. Thanks.
Stressful times. Regardless of the COVID and the flu. But then, to get it the day before the All Au's game, I remember thinking, like, my parents are supposed to be flying over for this game, and they didn't fly over. And, like, they didn't, I was mentioning, like, you guys over for this game is in Melbourne. They went over, and I was thinking, this is weird. Like, but they didn't tell me, but they had COVID. Didn't want to tell me. So I'm sitting there going, but I didn't know. I was like, I don't reckon I have COVID. Woke up on game day after about probably 5 hours of sleep, and I'm going, something's not right. You're not feeling great. Wasn't jumping to conclusions yet. Jumped on the bus and I knew something was wrong. I fell asleep straight away on the bus. Think about it, you're going to one of the biggest games of your career to the day and you're sleeping.
You got the Australian jersey.
You got the Australian jersey, you've got everything, you've got the Australian socks on, you've got your fresh Nike boots, Nike just sent you. You think you're up and about.
Love it.
And you're not up and about. You think something's wrong. So, yeah, I did my best to get up and about for the game. I think once you got to the ground, the arousal levels were enough to get you going. I didn't have the greatest of games, but as you'd expect from someone with COVID, and I do have asthma as well, so those two didn't come hand in hand together. It was a tough game. And then the next couple of weeks played out even worse because I came back, contracted the flu. Whether it was just, made that much worse because of COVID, I'm assuming it was. And so I was trying to get up for trainings and for games. I literally could not breathe. I remember sitting inside my room going, I'm not even going to be able to go to train today. So I was sucking on my inhaler like it was anything just to try and get out of the house. It was bad.
Do you remember the 2K time trial this year?
Yeah, I filmed it.
Yeah, do you know...
Oh, the one at the random track?
The second one.
Was that the random track one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know I ran that and then tested positive an hour later for COVID?
No.
So I ran a PB and I was like sick as a dog.
Were you destroyed after
Well,
that?
I felt fine going into it. And then afterwards I was just like, man, I can't run that quick. Like my body's given up. Went home, COVID test positive. So I've been trying to work with the medical department on scrapping 10 seconds off my 2K and just go, all right, that's my COVID 2K. So if I didn't have it, I'd be going better.
It was a weird 18s carnival for you. You were going in as like you were going to go around the top 5, I reckon they were talking about for draftable players. And then you and Rubes almost switched positions in a sense. Was that through, did you have as good a carnival as what you wanted to have in that sense? It's worked out to be at our absolute advantage. Like it's accidentally played out as the best possible result, but how much pressure was on you at the time of you feeling playing those type of games? Playing great Swans footy in the Colts era. We'll get to your flag with Bro in a minute.
Yeah.
But how'd you feel about almost the stock falling to a certain degree?
Yeah, it was a tough period. I literally was stressing. I remember calling up my manager like every second day going, where am I right now? I was free falling. Let's say. And I got to a point where...
Been there, brother.
Yeah, Twomey was putting me at 22, 23, and I was going, like, not that you want to read into that stuff in draft year, but it's easier said than done. You're stressing. And I was, as you said, I kind of came to the year as like a top 5. And so I was falling, didn't have a great carnival.
You had a very good game to start the carnival.
Yeah,
because I remember watching that against Vic Country.
Metro.
Metro?
Is that the 3-goal game or the mini-goal game?
2-goal one.
2 and 28?
And 28, 2 goals one. Great game to start with, which is handy. And then, it all kind of fell over after that. And not like dramatically, but to be honest, I look at the back end of it and I look what the knowledge and the experience he gave me, and I'm actually forever grateful. And, can sit in pity, but look where we are now.
The dad's a surgeon and he's instilled with you the importance of study, hard work. How was that? Year 12, ATAR, did you smash it?
Oh, I did all right. I don't want to mention my ATAR on this podcast.
Oscar has. Oscar's flaunted it.
Yeah, 88.
Got him.
Did you actually? Yeah. What'd you get?
I'll speak about that later.
But you're studying now, aren't you? You're doing some intense stuff.
Yeah. So I'm doing commerce, majoring business law at uni.
Sorry, slow down. That's a lot. What are you doing?
Doing commerce, majoring in business law.
Good.
Whereabouts at UW?
UW.
Yeah, cool.
But I deferred for this. So I had a year out last year, almost a gap year, but studied. Yeah. Worked a bit on the golf course.
Which one?
Lake Claremont Golf Course. I used to see
Par 3
Breno.
course.
Oh,
Par 3 course.
Love it.
I used to see Breno walking it. And because I did a 1 week trial here at the Eagles at the start of the year, I knew who he was. So he used to always walk it and we'd chat. But now, getting to know Breno, I should have chatted to him a bit more. Lovely guy.
Great little par 3 golf course.
Great course, yeah. Guy who owns it, ripping bloke, Nigel, still close to them. Actually went there on Monday.
Nigel, no, mate.
Oh, no. You win an Alco Cup in the PSA level, mate?
Yeah, year before. Scotch came over from Guildford, so
can we talk about this? Because there's rumours that Scotch bought a flag by prying you over from Guildford. Any truth to this claim?
Nah, there's no... I don't know where you're getting all this info from, but you've done well.
You know where I've got it from.
Who?
And he wears number 33.
Oh, relentless.
Yeah, relentless, man.
Give it up to the Alco Cup winners, though.
Yeah.
Have you won now?
No, you went...
Twos doesn't count, mate.
No, I played in the Year 11 Alco Cup at Hale.
Really?
Yeah, special times.
You're that guy, eh?
Yeah.
You know,
incredible.
Thumper, how many premierships you won, Thump? Did you say it on this podcast? You don't say it as much as you should.
North Beach, aren't you? With Texan.
Beach.
How many flags you won?
Not as many as Tex.
Yeah, but Texas won.
5 A grade flags.
Incredible.
Texas won like 10, hasn't he?
He's won 10 flags.
Is he the GOAT at North Beach?
Yeah.
Texas is like one of the greatest.
He's the physio at the club. And he is known as the king. That is
Did
his
he play
nickname.
physio? Was he play physio?
Yeah, I remember one time.
Strapping your own angle.
One of the grand finals I missed. So we won 7 in a row, A grade North Beach. But one of the ones I missed was through injury, and I was trying to get back into it. And it was in 06 because I remember Tex was flying over for the Adelaide prelim against West Coast, and Bill Duckworth said, look, you'll play if Tex travels to Adelaide v West Coast. So I'm like, oh, joy. So I've just got to hope that like the club icon legend that we need to play and win is like not coming, and everyone else is like, we need Tex to be here to win the granny.
But he's Thumper would play on the wing.
Yeah, and we just need Thumper the Seagull at the side. So that was 06. So he was like, I should be travelling over with the boys to be the physio, but I also want to go play in a flag for North Beach. So he was, player physio.
What happened?
He came back and played. Thumper out you get.
Okay.
And we won. Yeah. And I reckon Tex would have played a lot better than me. So right decision.
He's like one of the greatest. I know this isn't an amateur football podcast, but he's the greatest, like one of the greatest Amos players.
Is he?
Eh?
Yeah, he's right up there. He's in the Hall of Fame for the Amos.
He was full forward?
Full forward.
Yeah, he played on ball when he
How many was he kicking a season?
Don't know. This is before my time.
Don't tell me it was like around hundreds.
Nah.
Not in Amos. They only play like 15 games.
But you can kick bags now, mate, surely. Surely Texan was kicking bags.
Yeah, but he was playing wherever he wanted, the big fella.
So you're deferring, so you're not doing anything at the moment?
No, I deferred for the first semester, and second semester I'm getting back into it, doing one unit.
Just one at a time?
Just one at a time. Next year I might pick up
chip
two.
Chip away.
I know.
So I've got a question for you, mate.
Hit me, Oz.
I saw something that came out of the media department earlier this year, and it says, who are the 3 people you'd love to have dinner with? And you've gone Tom Brady, who is the GOAT of NFL, Dustin Martin, probably arguably the modern day GOAT right now, and Alexander the Great, which is just completely out of left field. Can you talk to me about those 3 and what the conversation would be like?
I remember at the time I was reading a passage and it was talking about Alexander the Great. I actually remember thinking at the time I wanted to say Marcus Aurelius, but...
Who's Marcus Aurelius?
One of the great Stoic philosophers of Earth's time. You can read about him.
Don't know.
No, yeah, sorry. Oh, look at me. Yeah, go on.
It's nothing but yeah.
So
great.
read a reader of like
read a book.
poems and stuff?
No, it's not. No, so this isn't poetry. This is just Stoic philosophy. Like some boys read it, some boys don't. It's great. Some great books like Ego is the Enemy, Courage is Calling. There's some great books. If it's not your thing, don't even worry about it. But I think Mark's read
Courage is Calling, not the name of my memoirs at all. Courage is Calling.
Courage is hung up.
Courage is unknown. Okay, who are your 3?
I don't know. I'll come back to me by the end of this podcast.
All right, that's easy. Mate, baseball gun as a junior.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Talk to us about your baseball career. Love a bit of baseball, mate.
I do. It was actually my favourite sport. It's still my favourite sport. It is.
You'll go watch ABL, you just watch MLB?
No, MLB. As a kid, because I played for the Australian team, used to travel a lot, and I missed a lot of football as a junior because I was just travelling around the country, or travelling the States, travelling to Singapore, travelling to New Zealand. I loved my baseball, and I remember just as a kid going to these, when I was going to the States, we'd go watch games. I can remember watching the Angels game and watching Mike Trout for the first time and just thinking at like 12, and I was thinking like, this is where I want to be. And
where were you playing?
I was a shortstop, and then as I graduated to about the under-15 Australian team, when we went to New Zealand, I turned into a pitcher. But then it came to a point my elbow was getting pretty sore. You had to get Tommy John surgery. You guys know what that is?
Have you had that?
No, I was probably in line for it.
Yeah, right.
And I was trying to change my pitching mechanics, but I lost a bit of speed, so I wanted to go back to my original mechanics. But yeah, I was probably in line for a Tommy John.
Man,
is that disconnection of tendons? Or?
Yeah, so I think they get a tendon from your shoulder.
And put it in your elbow.
Put it in your elbow.
Yeah, to strengthen it. So Tommy John's is like the first pitcher to ever have it done.
Right.
So
you come to the party. You know philosophy, you know surgery.
Actually, I should know philosophy because I studied it. Can we just say he might be the most interesting guest we've ever had? Like
definitely got the biggest spectrum of conversational topics. So that means you played your T-ball junior. You do the interdistricts.
Yeah,
they do that at Langley Park still.
You do that. Yeah, you go through all the junior ranks, and I think most people end at T-ball.
Yeah,
and they just not commit, but they find basketball, that other stuff. Whereas my dad loved, and I have 2 brothers, older one and younger one, and we all just loved baseball, and we kept going. And baseball isn't big over here in Perth, but over in Sydney. And Melbourne, it's actually quite big and it's expanding rapidly, and that was kind of where Australian baseball took off. And yeah, when at 12 when I was selecting my first Australian team for the Carrick World Series, when I travelled over to Missouri, Branson, Missouri, that was kind of like the start of like a trigger in me where I was like, I want to play professional sport.
Did I tell you the story about? Have I told you the Perth Heat story when they wanted to get an Eagles player to throw the first pitch out?
Oh, really?
Yeah, couldn't find anyone.
Should have got you.
How long ago?
10 years.
Okay.
Couldn't find anyone.
If there's one coming up, I'll be there.
No,
I'll pitch gas. I'm throwing 90 miles an hour. Don't even worry about it.
Imagine me telling Simo that I've injured our
He
star.
needs Tommy Jones.
Yeah.
Tommy John surgery, right?
No, I had to dress, and they said, because no play, had the weekend off. So I said, what if I get the mascot to do it? So I dressed up as Rick the Rock and threw the first pitch. So I
You did?
You're a
So I
gangster.
can get the box full of squirt.
That's so good.
Didn't pitch a strike because you can't hang onto the ball very well with the mitt.
Yeah,
you'd
that's the reason.
Probably assume so.
Atani on his way to becoming the GOAT, mate.
Yeah, I think right now he probably is considered the GOAT. Two-way player.
What he
best
does
in the
is
game right now.
ridiculous,
It is ridiculous. I remember I was actually looking at something on my phone recently, like some of his baseball cards now, like his Japanese 2016 cards, are actually going for like hundreds of grands because everyone just knows. Give it 2-3 years, his statistics and even just the eye test itself. But he's going two-way. Like this guy will pitch a no-hitter all game, and then go to the batter's box and hit 2 homers. Like
He's leading the MLB for, I think, ERA and home runs.
Yeah, he's
which is
incredible.
Ridiculous.
Who do you follow?
Right. Well, so as a kid, my favourite player was Carlos Correa. He's a shortstop. What team's he at now? He's moved. I think he is at. Back then, he was at the Astros when they won the final in 20. I'm going to say 17.
Is that the one which was marred by the the signals and all
the
that?
Signals, yeah. Jose Altuve was the second baseman. Those two, like the best upfield combo.
So you follow the players more than the team, really?
Well, at this time, it was more the player because I just love Carlos Correa. I played shortstop, and so I went and bought his glove. And so if you know anything about baseball, it is a very expensive sport. Like, so the leather in the glove is like $450. Cool. So I remember my dad, we had this deal, and anyway, I ended up doing the deal, and Dad bought me this glove, and from then onwards, I wanted to play professional baseball in this glove. And I remember going to like my first like local game, because local games people just have average gloves, and I was rocked up with this Carlos Correa A2K Wilson, and I'm thinking like I'm him.
So say like NBA players got custom NBA shoes. Baseball players have custom gloves.
You can get
like
custom gloves.
This is Otani's glove, like Shohei Otani.
Yeah,
this
mate.
is his custom
Yeah,
glove.
it's the most fashion-based sport, I reckon, in the world. I've never seen anything like it. If you go search up baseball players now, guys are wearing
Drip kings, eh?
they are dripping. They're wearing like headbands. They're wearing sleeves. They've got everything going. Like they got stuff under their eyes.
Do you know what drip means?
Very fancy clothing that looks cool.
Yeah. It's wet.
Yeah. Wet. All right, so we could talk baseball for another hour, but
we've
no one will be listening.
diverged, yeah.
No one will be listening. Explosive, out the contest, v the Saints, snap, goal, on top of the world, celebration time, the big O's next year, and we get the crowd involved. Talk me through how cool that experience was, because it rarely gets done, and we absolutely love to see it here on the potty.
Yeah, great experience. First goal, I think, was a quarter before that, and kicked that, was incredibly excited. And then to get the second opportunity, hitting the ball at full speed, I see JD with his man. I'm like, I'm probably not going to get touched in that instant, and split the middle and kicked it over my left shoulder, and got the crowd into it. I got that crowd rizz.
Well, you were standing in the goal square, and I'm looking at you from like 10 metres away, and you look at me and like give me like a let's go, and you turn, you just start, and then you obviously the camera's on you before the bounce, gives it heaps. The interesting part about this, have you seen the behind the goals of Witho? So Withow's on the other end, and he thinks they're cheering for him because he started giving this to the crowd. But it's actually Hewitt's like on the goals where the guy just kicked the goal. Like, he was telling me about this the other day. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's because Huey was doing it. He's yeah, right. Yeah.
You broke his heart.
Well, he was like, no, yeah, like during the Saints game, like Huey kicked that goal, and went like this, the crowd started cheering, and I was like, oh yeah, like sounds like a familiar time of when Huey started doing it as well.
Let him have it, Huey.
Yeah, no, we'll give it to him.
Yeah. Okay. That was mint. I enjoyed that. I loved it, Oscar, because Oscar gave a smile that was just like, yeah, boy, you do it. You go.
It was good, mate. I don't want to say kids because we're like, you're 5, 6 years younger than me, but like, love playing with the younger boys at the moment. Like, bring so much energy. Like, love you. Longy.
Hoffy,
Wagwan, Rubes when he's here.
But Hoffy's never going to turn around and do that, though. It takes a special personality to have the confidence to
you're
do
the
it.
only one that's going to do it. So you just got to keep doing it. Because Longy won't do it. He's too much of a respectful king.
You say I'm not stopping.
I'm not stopping, but it's also, you got to remember, the guys like Hoffy, they're the guys that win you flags. They're not going to celebrate the crowd, but the stuff they do in the back line is important. So you never undervalue those type of players. Even though they don't get that crowd rizz, they're still good.
Don't have that crowd rizz.
Good team, man, Huey. What about your good cooking, mate? I hear you're a bit of a chef master. Have you cooked for any of the boys yet? Had them round for a dish?
Oh, I did actually very early days, but now everyone's hanging up, changing families and host families and all that stuff. So I've got to get them back around again. But so I've got an Indian background. My dad's an elite cook, like seriously elite cook. I'm not even kidding.
What's your like go-to family dish? Like if Dad's cooking,
Butter
like,
chicken.
I
Oh,
hope
butter
he's
chicken.
cooking. Yeah,
Yeah, he's cooking butter
I hope he's
chicken.
cooking the butter chicken. Yeah,
Cooking butter chicken. But the thing about my dad is he can actually cook like almost any cuisine. He just loves cooking. So he's got this YouTube inspiration. If you go into his YouTube, everything for
Your Dad's
you.
got a YouTube, so
No, if you go into his YouTube,
Oh,
onto
right,
his
right.
phone,
Yeah.
Well, his
Sorry.
for you page is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on YouTube.
yeah, the fit. Yeah,
So what channel should people be following to get these elite
I don't know
recipes?
what he finds like the weirdest ones, like some outback cooking, and he'll find some inspiration to cook like
Coley's cook-ups.
some lamb and Coley. Oh, that sounds great.
That's all.
All right. So no trade secrets, but you've just learned from him. You said, Dad, can you teach me this? Or you
Yeah,
just
he's taught me a bit, but I got to find some more independence in that area.
He'll make it for sure. That's why I backed him on Tap Touch.
You got the touch, you got the power. Got the touch? Choose Tap Touch. Better your bet. Download the app today.
This is what we're going to cover for next week, Oz. Ashes cricket, bit of Barbenheimer.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Barbenheimer. So bands went and saw Oppenheimer. We'll talk about that.
me too.
Love it.
Yeah, me too.
We'll talk the Budweiser. We'll talk that next week.
Yeah.
But right now it's time for question time with Huey.
All right, first question, and it is from Magnetic in
Inertia, mate.
Inertia. That's bad for me. On days you weren't motivated to train, what did you do? In brackets, I'm an inspiring young athlete.
Oh,
Aspiring.
that's a
I think
loaded
you may
question.
Not, yeah.
I think personally, not that I've learned all the trades and secrets, but I think routine is the most important thing for an athlete and consistency, because every day you wake up, you're not going to feel motivated every single day. But from what you learn, the players that do it for the longest and the most longevity and are the best are the ones that get up regardless of how they feel. But I personally like a routine.
Miguel Sanchez wrote in Oz, quickest players in Eagles colours to get to 100 goals.
Yeah, right.
Scotty Cummings took 25 games
Yeah,
to get
Oh
there.
my gosh.
32 games from Summer.
I would have taken a while because I spent like my first couple of years playing down back.
So how many games do you reckon it took you?
Maybe like, I think I was playing Sydney, so like 70 odd, 72.
Yeah, 73. That wasn't a hard question. What about JD and JK?
I think JK would have been a bit quicker. He would have been, was it West Coast Eagles goals or just, yeah, so JK took a couple years at Carlton to get going, but once he was here, he was kind of rolling to maybe like 45 or something.
53, yeah.
And then JD like 57 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't too far.
How many games you played?
JD, yeah.
And maybe like just under 80. Yeah.
Jed McMission, who is your number one fan?
Who is my number one fan?
Yeah.
I have no clue, mate.
Was it Mum?
Mum, Dad,
I'm going to say my little brother.
brother.
Little brother?
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Is he like, man, that goal was fire last night?
no.
Like, what was he do that makes you think, oh, this guy is all about me?
He just kind
a
of watches
supportive
how it goes.
king.
He's just a supportive human being. I see him on a day-to-day basis, so that probably helps.
How good was playing a waffle flag with your older bro?
Sick. Really cool. He was the captain of the team, and I played with my best mates. That's one of the things about college football, which you love. You play with your best mates. Similar to PSA, probably not as good as PSA. I found PSA premiership just incredible. My brother. But the college flag was awesome as well. 2 flags in 1 year. Doesn't get better.
That's awesome.
Is your brother still playing footy?
Yeah, older one's playing at Swans. Yeah.
Cool. I got one from NT Bird 33. How do you compare yourself to the likes of fellow draft picks Ashcroft, Sheasel, and Wardlaw heading into the draft? I'll throw in Cadman as well because he did go pick one. did he
Yeah.
not? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tricky one. Like when you go into the draft, looking back now, those guys obviously all went higher than me. But I think you got to have that personal confidence, knowing that deep down that you're
him.
better than them. You're going to hopefully have a better career. So that's kind of the mindset, without sounding arrogant, that I had, and I will back myself to have.
People get confused between confidence and arrogance.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Very
big
big
difference.
Jack Haddad, do you think there was a correlation between Oz's Street X collab and getting the win?
Very, very. Oh, mate. When I first saw that photo, I thought you were a good-looking guy.
Not the first thing that came to mind when I saw it.
Let's get the big fella back.
But that's fair. That's fair.
What was the first thing that came to your mind? Go on.
What a pathetic article from Perth Now.
What they say?
Oh, it's just like they've got time to do this.
They
Like,
should be focusing on training.
mate, I've heard it since
Seen
2010. Stick it right up here. That's just
I saw
terrible.
that, and when I saw that post, guess who was the first person to like it? Liam Ryan. I remember thinking, what are you doing?
Big
Why are you liking
fine.
this post?
Big
Liam?
fine.
He just liked how good looking he was. John Dawson wants to know the percentage of time you spend with Simo compared to your line coach.
Well, I spend more time with my line coach because I have to review my game, preview my games. But I spend quite a bit of time chatting to Sim as well about my own individual needs and craft, etc.
Willow Carr wants to know why you were so sad singing the song, Oscar.
I was happy singing the song.
It's not what this fella says.
I think there was a still frame photo where I don't look happy. Yeah, but that doesn't capture the moment.
Okay. Jared Jays, will Trump go into office again?
Ooh, that's a great question, Jared. I hope he does. That's controversial.
Whoa.
I hope he does.
Why?
I'm a big Trump fan.
What?
We'll talk about it off air, but I'm a big Trump fan.
No, we'll talk about it on air. Continue.
I was a fan of watching the clip of his 9-iron, like punching dart 9-irons in on
He's
whatever
a good
course.
golfer.
Yeah,
Great
sadly,
golfer.
he's a good golfer.
He beat you.
Jared Jays, do you still live in your brother's shadow?
Ooh,
Ooh.
I assumed you knew Jared.
How's
I
that,
do know Jared.
how does that taste?
Yeah, that hurts. I heard it a bit as a kid, but hopefully I'm not hearing it anymore.
Okay. Favourite pod at the moment, Laura Abbott, besides Coast to Coast.
I was just telling off air, I'm listening to Whoop podcast, just some of the stuff on their sleep. And
Do you have a whoop yourself? Man.
got it on me,
Man,
baby.
Do you enjoy it? Like,
I love it.
Talk to us a little bit about Whoop. Explain for those.
For some person who knows nothing about Whoop, there it is. What on earth is that?
Whoop.
So it is a really cool device which basically measures your heart rate variability. It calculates your strain throughout the day, so how much strain you're putting into your body, and it does all your sleep metrics, similar to like an Oura ring, but it does everything in one. So like it measures your sleep, your deep sleep, your non-rapid eye movement sleep, your light sleep, all this stuff which comes into to decipher your recovery period throughout the day. So like if you have a certain strain, to be able to get up and recover, it will measure your deep sleep and all that type of stuff and see how appropriate you are to train the next day. You want to get all these numbers aligned. It maybe is the extra step, but it's kind of the edge that players, it's so small, the edges between players these days. You try and look for anything.
How's your sleep going?
Yeah, really good. My sleep numbers over the last 4 nights, incredible.
What numbers you putting up?
I'm hitting about 42% of my, sleep, restorative sleep. So that's non-rapid eye movement and rapid eye movement. So just limiting your light sleep. So that's like the state where you kind of wake up in the morning, you're feeling real groggy. It's because you haven't hit the restorative sleep numbers you need to.
And what can you do to get more restorative sleep?
Personally, you're going to find this weird, but I'm like a real congested person. So
I played real outside.
Yeah.
I was deep wing.
Yeah, or something like that. Whatever no. And I mouth tape.
Yeah, so I've seen this big mouth breathing apparently.
Very bad
stopping
for you.
mouth breathing. So
Stop your mouth breathing and you will improve your sleep, your energy levels in the morning, everything, your cognitive function through the roof. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You try it.
Nah, the dentist told me about mouth breathing. I do it all the time. I try to breathe
Did you
through
say
my
you're
nose.
a grinder and you said you're real for
No,
that?
he said you're...
You're real for that.
Nah, but I try to do it through my nose and I feel like I'm suffocating, so I can't quite do it yet. I'm trying to build up.
Build up to it, brother.
Yeah. So before we just mentioned about numbers then. Loved the moment in the press conference when Bunga was retiring, when he was about to drop what he was pressing, the bench press in the gym.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
What's he benching?
150. It's 150.
Comfy 150.
He's got the record, 150 at the
Yeah,
club.
but he's gone more than 150
Has he?
before. I've seen him do like a bit more than that. Not like...
Like 160?
Nah, like 155, 157, like around there, but big numbers for a big boy.
Numbers.
And this is him at like 32. Like imagine if he actually... Like, I wonder
if he trained to just do this.
No, I'm talking about like when he was like 26. Like if he was actually really going for it.
Well, you'd think 32 you're in your strongest.
I reckon he'd be more like Jack just at 26, 27. Do you know?
He's got that man strength as well, but
Yeah.
So
he's had that man strength when he was 12.
I reckon 12 months out of the game, if we measure him this time next year, he's still benching 140.
I remember when they stopped
When you
Curry
benched 140 for the first time.
yesterday. I remember when they had to tell Curry to stop doing weights.
Curry?
Yeah, like they have to
Really?
tell
Was he
certain.
that jacked?
Yeah, because like
Really?
I remember Nick had it as well.
Curry needs to run a lot more than what Bung needs to run. So it was kind of like, what do you need? You need more aerobic, whatever. But I'd imagine at some point they've said to Bunga, you don't need to do these types of programs.
Well, I actually have the similar thing. I do carve all my reps. So if anyone thinks I'm cheating in the gym, I'm not. So when someone has 8 reps in the bench, I have 4. So my gym sessions go quicker, but it's for the purpose of maximizing power and reducing my muscle output.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. There you
So,
go.
yeah,
Maybe I can get on that
Go
program.
check out my gym program.
That'd be
It's
nice.
different.
Last question. Liv Floro, what's something you're proud of that not many people would know about you? Thanks to everyone who wrote in.
That is a very deep question. I would probably say how I combated last year, like amidst all the the problems and the stress. It's a highly stressful time to come out the back end, and then with a lot of doubt. Like as an AFL player, you have a lot of doubt when you first come in, even though you believe deep down you're good enough. You have to fight challenges on a day-to-day basis, and I think I fought them quite well, and I'm playing some decent footy now, and hopefully can catch the ride and keep pushing up with the confidence. Because initially when you first come in, you feel quite small in a huge pond. So, yeah, fighting those little battles day to day was great.
Might have been an uphill climb for your first year at the start, Huey, but you've absolutely blitzed your debut performance here on Coast to Coast, courtesy of Tab Touch.
You've got the touch.
Got the touch,
Sing
brother.
it for me. Give me one of those.
You've got the touch.
You got the touch. All right, thank you, mate. Appreciate it. This might be a common occurrence, mate. Thanks for coming into the studio, and best of luck with the next 4 games. You've had a terrific first year, obviously marred by a little bit of injury, but hitting some real form coming into the back end. So
thank you. You
all
too,
the best. Thank you, mate.
Kick a foot in your bags.
He'll make it for sure. That's why I backed him on Tap Touch.
You got the touch, you got the power. Got the touch? Choose Tap Touch. Better your bet. Download the app today.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.